Sup, everyone? Give me 1 second. For some reason, I can't get my chat to pop up. There we go. All right, now I got chat to pop up. What's going on, everyone? Dank, Allie, what's going on? Yeah, I friggin' log on to my Streamlabs and I had to like reset everything, which you guys know takes me like 10 years to do anything like that. So so PO'd. Like, I should never have to reset this stuff. It should just always stay there. So, sorry it took a little bit. I, like, sent the message, and then I realized, like, I can't actually stream because it's not going to let me do anything. So, but here we are, nonetheless. How is everyone doing tonight? Yeah, yawning, Wampa, absolutely. There are going to be some yawns tonight. That's what we're going to have to make sure that I don't stay up too late. But, yeah, definitely going to be yawning. Well, yeah, so he too lucky. Here's the thing, right? So, one, my opponent obviously not doing anything either. It's not that I can't take someone out. In Kyber 1, dropping a battle, especially in 3v3, if your opponent goes clear, like, it's just so hard. So, like, I'd rather just wait until I know more or that nobody knows anything, and then it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, you know what? We'll just do roster reviews, and maybe if my opponent starts attacking, they'll go. But like, I'd rather just let it ride out. 1000%, let it ride out. Dank first review, sure, man. If you want to go for that, that's fine. And then I've got to do the typical. I'm gonna pin this time. All right, we're pinning that message. Last time I roasted your Lord Vader mods, I am sure I did. All right, let's see. So do you want me to, like, make fun of these Lord Vader mods, or are we... I'm trying to remember, are these the mods that were, like, critical damage? Okay, so you went all health now, so you've completely switched to all health. It's a decent speed. 160 speed is not bad without a speed set, so it's a very fast mod set, but... we are using a speed arrow up here. So, I'll say this, Dank, right off the bat. I'm perfectly okay modding like this. But here's the thing. Right? This mod here. It's like putting... it's like putting tits on a mule. Like, what purpose is this serving? Like, you're already giving up how much speed by not using a speed set. You may as well just dive head first and go with a protection setup here. Like 7% protection, 8% health, those are nice stats. But like 24% protection with speed and health percent would be way better. So that's just my thought process there, is I would more so focus on, if you're going to go all in on something, go all in on it. Because even at Relic 9, you've got 212,000 protection, 153k health. And I know I just looked at my Lord Vader. Mine at Relic 8, now I've only got 120,000 health, but I'm at a little bit faster, and I have 202 protection, and I'm at Relic 8. So I personally would go for a little bit more protection, and I think you would get more bang for your buck out of that. So I would definitely make that happen. Let's go back out one, because I want to check out your clones. I want to see what we're working with on the clones. Okay, Scorch is nice. Good armor percent. Oppo. Offense, speed. Very good. Good speed. That's solid there. Disguised Clone Trooper, good speed. Potency, offense. I'm debating with my Disguised Clone Trooper of a potency or offense cross. I'm not, or even a protection cross. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. CX2. My only thing with CX2, and again, I don't know this well enough. You know, I'm still learning. Does he do enough damage that you think he warrants the offense set, or do you think the speed set? I have mine modded just for all-out speed, just trying to get more Order 66 out on the field. But that's just, yeah, that's just kind of the way I am. Oh, there he is. Hold on. I didn't think you were joining, Egg. Hold on. Let me pause my music. You never sent me the message back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got your audio flowing through now. Can everybody hear him?
Yeah, the first thing that I walked into on your stream was something tits on a bowl. I was like, what? Okay, that's what we're doing tonight. What are you doing, roster reviews?
Yeah, I literally was saying I am refusing to do any sort of like, hold on, let me try and share my screen here with you. Where can I do this? Gotta remember how I did this.
I have your YouTube up, so I can.
Okay. But I'm not gonna do GAC because I don't know what's gonna beat this Darkside Raycron, and I just don't want to take the chance that, like, my opponent gets to have the information of what does beat it and then wins because he watched my stream or something. Like, that's not going to happen.
So, are you being a Puss in Boots?
Absolutely.
Ooh, they're hearing me twice. You have me set up as Discord or two different things?
Now you shouldn't be echoing anymore.
Am I still echoing, fam? Hello, friends. Caleb. Allie, hello. I almost said mean curses, but I forgot that Phil keeps it family friendly.
That's all right. I've been pretty loose lately because my Streamlabs just completely reset on me today. I was fucking pissed.
Ooh, look at him. He's dropping F-bombs.
Dude, it was awful. Like, you know me. I'm sitting here like I clicked the live stream button and it's like create a new event and chat pops open in like Streamlabs and I'm like, no, this is not the way I do this. And it was a mess.
That's rough. That is. I think they save everything to the cloud. Not that that's helpful to you right this second, but just
now once I like logged in, all my normal stuff came back and everything looked fine. But I was not happy. I was not happy for a bit.
I can definitely completely and totally understand that.
But yeah, so I have Dank Ideals roster, and he was like, he's asking for, like I didn't really ask anything. He just said look around. So I was looking at he's got the full Lord Vader team like you. So kind of wailed out for that. But
I didn't wail out. I had other people wail out for me.
Okay, same thing. Okay. Oh, I didn't buy the prostitute. My buddy bought it for me. Okay, you still participated.
That's
still
fine.
Counts.
I've got great stories in that regard.
But he remodded his Lord Vader here. And I know mods are not you don't love mods, but he remodded Lord Vader to have 3 protection primaries, and then he still has a speed arrow up here.
I'm in game right now. Let me see what I did.
And I just kind of said that if we're going to go all out on the protection,
yeah,
and not use a speed set with a health set, you may as well you're not losing enough speed.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, my modding philosophy with this character in particular, I found just with the Lord Vader team, you just need everybody as fast as possible. So I don't agree with the offense CX2 thing, but, again, I'm not the modding guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I think it'll work. I'm curious how it'll all kind of play together. I almost was wondering with the clones if you just go straight up survivability. Like screw every other stat and just make them survive for as long as possible.
No, you need them fat. Like they need to be taking turns. That's the big problem with them. They have to be taking turns. If they're not taking turns, you get run around.
But I did want to check. I wanted to check a few of his other characters because with the mods he had on Vader and the mods he had on the clones. Now we've got to check other people.
Go ahead.
He just said he's strapped for mods, which that makes sense based on what I saw there.
I've been seeing that a lot lately, even with my roster, with the release cadence. That for the first time in the last 4 to 5 months, I have felt like I'm putting mods that I never would have on characters because that's what I have.
Yeah. He no longer has the fastest Bodhi Rook in the land. He finally caved and took all the garbage off of Bodhi because clones exist. That has to be the answer. Oh, that's glorious. So glorious. I don't feel bad at all if you can't tell.
I guess what I want to know, though, not about this roster. I'm really perseverating on this GAC thing here. What is your price? How do I get people to get you to fail at GAC tonight?
Oh, you know what's funny?
Everybody has a price.
I said a very long time ago that I have put my account above this channel. If there's, hey, I could do this for content or I could be smart, I will be smart. Because I just don't, I just don't like the, I just don't like, I tried. It would be a lot. It would be a lot. And it's just and for what? I'm just going to avoid that battle. I am never allowing Egnards to play my GAC because I'm just gonna see 9 galactic legends on my front walls.
You know what? Rabid Beaver and I were talking about doing that in the next couple of weeks, trading accounts to do GAC. So I would do that.
It would just pain my soul to watch you have a complete turtle defense. I know that Sith the Turtle would be on defense just for the fact that you know that I hate your turtle defense.
I haven't turtled in about 3 to 4 months, but I think specifically for you, I would do it. I'd be like, yeah. let's do this on Phil's account because it'll piss him off.
That was when we were talking, if we ever get paired in GAC, that one of my ideas was every team has to be boy, girl, boy, girl.
Oh, yeah. We're spinning a wheel and we're getting crazy. If that happens, we are getting crazy. Without a doubt. There's no argument with me on that. It will happen.
Okay, so he has to go to Jedi Vanguard's mods here. I already saw one that I'm not happy with. So now this has really good speed. Dank, this is really good speed. But this is like one of my... I'm not trying to be mean, but like, what is the purpose of having a defense set that doesn't have defense % on the secondary?
He probably just doesn't have a defense mod right now.
But like I would never buy a mod set. Like the mod set itself, same with offense.
I get what you're saying, offense. But you know what? It might have been a mod that he had, and he rolled, and he got lucky on it, and he was like, you know what? Because I've had mods like that. I've sent you mods like that where I was like, I'd never buy this mod, but it somehow rolled, and now I don't know what to do with it.
But offense on the cross here, I'm not sure I like offense on this cross. That makes no sense.
It is a tough mod to go because it is cross whatever you want to call it, and does make it hard to decide how to use it.
Gold defense square. I mean, I would try to find one, Dank, just because or go with health and find defense somewhere else. It's just, listen, I'm being very nitpicky, but at the GP that you are, and with the way that to get your account to that point that you're going to want it, and with the investment levels you're making, having the right mods will make a difference at this point. In the lower levels, when you're in those earlier Kyber stages, you're in like a Rhodium, you have the new characters, you've got the focus Datacron, it doesn't matter. Your opponent's not going to know what the hell to do. I can go up against somebody who has those things, and if their mods are subpar, it negates a lot of it. Like this one right here, like your triangle, I freaking love this mod. Almost 15% defense, that is a great tank mod. Like that is really good. And then the crit avoidance mod, I don't hate the crit avoidance. It's not a stat I use a lot, but I don't hate throwing it on a character that's supposed to be tanking a lot. Especially for what I think this guy is, where he's kind of a meat shield, so having that crit avoid, I don't hate this. I don't hate that at all.
That the tank is a meat shield?
Like, Temple Guard...
Is that your takeaway tonight?
Yeah, like that. Like I put a character like Temple Guard in the same category that I put like Sith Trooper. They are literally just there to like.
Yeah, to take a couple hits. I understand. I'm just giving you shit. This is the people want me here for two reasons. One, for math, and two, to shit on you. Which reminds me, I have to tag that I'm shitting on you on Discord. Know that I'm shitting on you.
So, Dank, are you going straight into Mace Windu after this? Is that kind of the game plan here, that we're just going straight into Mace Windu? With, like, all the stuff you've got on Jocasta, all the, like, are we just going straight into that? Is that kind of the game plan here? Because you've got this 6-star Depa, so you're probably just working through the marquee event at this point. And then someone at RoboMelon, what do you think an account needs before transitioning to focus new content? Day 1 Mace Relic 9 on Dank Ideals. Okay, man, so yeah. I mean, after this then, do you have anything? The only other thing you're missing is Ahsoka and Balin. It's not bad.
Getting an R9 Jedi Master Mace Windu, and you don't even have Balin at all yet.
Balin or Ahsoka, and Egnards, your favorite.
Jar Jar.
No dead boys.
Oh my god, I swear. Somebody in my guild just messaged me about that today too, and I was like, how, you of all people, do you not have the dead boys at R9?
No dead boys. Not even at relic levels yet. So can't even fully.
Can we agree? I see Dank is calling the Bad Batch, NU New Bad Batch, and I just really want to make TPB the acronym for that team, which is Target Practice Boogaloo. So we just agreed to call them Target Practice Boogaloo from now on.
I want to call them Amex. Just Team Amex. Like,
Team Amex for Bad Batch? Like,
yeah, dude, listen, I'm going back to when we were on Three Scoundrels, and I said that the only reason Bad Batch are in the raid is because nobody spent money on them. And I'm going to die on that hill because you know what I was looking at the other day. I messaged you about it, and the math supports what I said.
I don't think anything you've just said is wrong at all. The only thing, and I actually referenced your math today. But I did, which is very rare that I'm referencing Phil's math of anything.
Yeah, I did math.
The only counter argument I have to that is that after they released the raid stuff, they were like, oh, by the way, you get a Bad Batch shard, and you get a Bad Batch shard, and you get a Bad Batch shard. Like, it was raining Bad Batch shards for free.
Fair. Very fair.
So I don't think as much money went into them as,
they were hoping.
As well afterwards, that you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm very torn. But he said he's also boycotting Ahsoka content. I'm glad we pulled this roster up first just because it's very interesting.
That kills me. Dank Ideals.
Dank, man, listen, my least favorite character in all of Star Wars is Reva. No. Oh, I love Ahsoka. I hate Reva. I have a Relic 8 Reva.
My least favorite is Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and I've got Cal Kestis.
Yeah, for this game, you can't, if you want to really keep going, you can't ignore those characters regardless how much you hate them. If they make Acolyte characters, I will be getting them. Will I be making Logan's Gungan rants look like kindergarten class? Absolutely, but I will still have those characters at whatever relic levels I need them at.
If I can get the big naked dude and we get the big naked model, I will well. I don't remember his name. I wasn't paying attention.
Dude, that show is so bad.
I just want his dong hanging out, and just that's his model is him in a lake. And then whatever the girl's name is, she's just like, oh, okay, I could get behind that.
The last thing I wanted to check here, Dank, I know we kind of just messed around just looking at mods because you have almost everything else. Are you going to take Barriss up to relics?
Of course, Allie knows his fucking name.
Yeah, that dude was... I don't remember anybody's name from that show. I literally don't. Yeah, the only thing I'm curious about here is, Dank, you're going to need to... I feel like you're going to want Barriss, because for this raid, I think she'll be super helpful in, like, the other team. So that's the one I would definitely think about upgrading, is making that a priority. After Mace, okay. And just throw a boatload... She doesn't even need a lot of speed, because she'll gain turn meter for removing debuffs. And if Lord Vader's in the raid in any way that he is now, applying dots and stuff, she's just going to take a million turns. So that's a good thought there. Split in two gaming question. Is it worth... Oh, I'm glad Egnards is here for this one. Is it worth Relic 9 new Mace and team over Galactic Legends?
Yeah, I mean, listen, is it worth doing him to R9 specifically? I don't know. That fully depends on your guild, right? Like, and your GP level. I hate the idea of GL just go to R9. I think it's... a team is done when the team is doing what it needs to do for you. And it's very rare that a team at R8 versus R9 fundamentally changes the counters that are open. Which characters you should bring to R9 fully depend on what your guild needs and what your roster needs. Now, why is Mace Windu a better R9 right now, specifically in a vacuum? Because it's going to help you with the raid, but also because if you're in an end game guild, it's also going to double up for TB. So you're getting a 2-for-1 there on top of your GAC and your TW team, which looks to be a frickin' monster of a team, even though it's probably going to get beaten by Sith Eternal.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's in the kit. Like, if you look at the kit, it says you cannot
Reveal Sith.
Galactic Legends or Sith. And with the Omicron, you can reveal Galactic Legends, but not Sith still, right?
Yeah.
Sith Eternal is going to be your counter. And it might be C Bane, I don't know, but it's going to happen.
I'm also looking here, Dank, just to, like, for you, I would argue that a Relic 9 Tarkin makes more sense because you already have the clones at Relic 9. Like, for your Vanguards,
this is not a man who's making sense.
I'm trying to help. Like, you need to take
an R9 Mace.
You've got to take Jocasta to 9, Temple Guard, Depa. You've got to do a lot more. I would personally just take Tarkin there first. Now, if this is I'm just doing this because I love Jedi Master Mace Windu, I'm not even going to take the other Vanguards to Relic 9 because I don't care. That's fine. But if we're, as a guild officer, I'd look at that and scream because I'd want that Relic 9 to go on the team that, like, you're close to.
Yep.
Egnards agrees.
There was actually a guy in my guild a long time ago. His name, I don't know if he still plays the game. I should look him up. His name was Chem Cosmic Fire. And I still remember this, like 3 years later. When R9 came out, he would just randomly R9 things. Like, he had an R9 Hera. He had, like, an I don't even know. Like, just his favorite characters. Like, an R9 Finn. And we got so annoyed that we eventually just kicked him out because we were like, what are you doing? Like, you're not helping us at all.
Dad goes, I will. Not like I'm farming Ahsoka. It just is so, like, I can't help but laugh at that comment. It's so wrong because I should be encouraging him to farm her, but just, like...
Looks like Chem Cosmic Fire still plays, by the way, in case you care. I just...
What guild is he in?
Kraken's Revenge.
Oh, there you go.
It used to be just when we're talking about when R9s were like the hardest thing in the world to get, and
oh my god, 1 or
2, and you just look at his roster and just be like, why? Like, why? Now you look at it and you go, oh, like maybe you're doing this. Like, Fifth Brother is R9. Why is Fifth? I'm looking at his roster. Why is Fifth Brother R9?
Hey,
and
that's
his other
that's Inquisitor. A pilot. He's a pilot.
Fifth Brother. Oh my god. Why is Ray Scavenger R9? Like, it's so... And I'm sure, like, 1 or 2 of these are platoons, but, like, from knowing him in the past...
They're just R9.
They're just R9 for the sake of being R9.
But yeah, the last thing I would just say is I looked at Ray's mods, because this is what I do. Like, this should never have been sliced up, because there's no speed here. This one is tough, but I'm going to be very picky and say it's an offense set, and there's no offense percent. And I know I'm being picky, but those are the kind of details that will help people make a difference. I was actually just working with a channel member and a guildmate on his mods. He and I were sitting down. We sat for like an hour and a half, just kind of trying to go through his mods and figure out which ones he should be working on, which ones he can delete. And it was a lot of stuff like that where it was just offense percent mods without offense percent or defense without defense percent. So I did see Allie's account next. So I know Allie asked...
Why would we want to rate, like, why would we want to help her with her account?
I know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Where is it at? It's somewhere up here. Why am I doing this? I know it's in my Discord server. Like, have that whole section where I like, not that there's a ton of people's codes in there, but there's enough of the members that I at least can go back in and check their account. Or she might even be in my ally list. I can't remember.
Your Allie will be in your ally list?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just here to be an instigator tonight, if we're being completely honest. That's like my sole purpose right now is to instigate you.
All right, Allie, what's the game plan? What are we finally have every single one of your Galactic Legends has all their Zetas. I think that's the first time I've ever said that on this account. So are we finally caught up with at least those Zetas? I'm not going to say all Zetas, but those Zetas. Wrong account? What account is what account is what? My
God, I wish I had sunglasses right now, but I don't.
What account? Did I miss it? Oh, she put a different account in there. Interesting. Whose account is this? Is this going to be like that time that when Cubs fan Han... I don't know if you ever remember this. Cubs, one time, he would offer like GAC coaching, and someone was watching his GAC stream where he like lost against his CLS with Slicker because he kept trying to stun like Han or something like that. Like it was really bad. And somebody entered in the whole thing for, you know, like GAC coaching, and they put his account information in there. And it was one of the funniest troll things I'd ever seen in my life.
That's honestly, that's beautiful.
Oh, she put, I guess we're going to review this trash account. All right, it is ally code 399836874. Make sure you guys go request this ally code 399836874.
She put in my account. Yeah, I'm not paying attention to the screen because I'm also doing my GAC because I'm not a pussy. But yeah, please review my roster. Go for it.
Okay, let's see. I'm going right to your Lord Vader. I like this speed mod's good enough. I don't like your diamond. He doesn't need tenacity.
Yeah, I probably need to fix that.
I like the circle a lot. That's a very good circle. Health percent, speed, offense percent. That's solid. I also very much like your cross, speed, offense percent. Potency and tenacity can go to hell, but that's calibratable. I get it. I've got mods like that. Crit damage. My only complaint here is there's no offense percent on the secondary. So that means that if he doesn't critically hit, this mod is literally doing nothing for you. I'm very brutal on crit damage mods. I won't keep a critical damage triangle. I have a couple. I don't like them. It needs to have offense percent. Then you do have a speed with 5% offense. I mean, that's pretty solid. I don't hate... The only thing I'd say is you don't have a lot of survivability. Only 160,000 protection.
You know what? He does what he needs to do.
That's fair. But mine's got... I can pull mine up.
He's got to whip at his own dick. He's like, oh,
yeah. Get the magnifying glass out.
It's more protected.
So we have almost the same amount of health. I have 200,000 protection. I do have more speed. Not by much. But I also have... I'm looking to see, make sure I have the right number. Do I have more health? No, I just have a little bit more speed. You actually have almost as much offense as me. It's very similar offense to me. So you actually have very good offense on there. Oh, it's all coming. It's that, you know what? It's your arrow. Because my arrow has, I forgot that you have that arrow is really nice on yours. because mine has like 15% defense.
Oof. And you're grading people's mods, and you've got
go check them Lord Vader mods, man. There's not a lot of wiggle room there. But I want to see your clones. I want to see how you did your clones.
Well, my clones are still a work in progress because I haven't found the right things in certain aspects. But they're the team I'm working on now, and I figure that if I have to replace a mod, then it just goes down the downline to somebody else.
I actually like your cross on Oppo here. It's only 9 speed at the moment.
That's my problem. Is I have a few. Like that's why it's not 6E right now.
But it has health and protection on the secondary. Like it's not bad. Like
no, it's not. If it rolls, I'll tell you. Do I have material right now to roll it? Let's find out. I know that nobody can see it on screen. Do I have? Where is clone?
The only thing I'd argue for is a little bit more offense.
Okay,
like just on the secondaries.
We are gonna roll it right now. It's
gonna
not
roll it
on
right now.
Screen.
Well, I'll come back to it.
Okay, so it's 6E right now. I rolled flat health.
Of course.
So nice, love it. And speed. All right, so flat health, speed. Let's calibrate that flat health, which went to speed.
There you go.
All right, and I can calibrate one more time. Now, I'm not going to I don't have enough. Don't. I'll buy some crystals.
I was going to say, don't do the.
I'm not going to calibrate.
Right, I'm trying to tell you, like the don't take away one of the good stats.
No. That's why I spent 80 crystals. So it's at 6B now, and I rolled 5 speed, but one of them was a 3 roll, so it's not the greatest.
Hey, it's still.
I'm actually glad that I came on here tonight because it's not a terrible mod. It's not a great mod, but it's not a terrible mod.
It's good enough, right? It'll get the job done.
Yeah, it is. I was afraid to roll that one and just to out you. I was like, let me just do this, and I'm not leaving mad.
There's a lot of like that's the kind of mod where even if it's okay, you find a faster one, you can then replace that. You can put that mod on somebody else, and it's not a complete loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the way you went Disguised Clone Trooper. I'm thinking of doing the same thing. The protection with
needs to be as fast as possible.
The protection with the offense percent secondary, that's what I'm trying to go for because I feel like the potency is not as big of a deal. And I also think he just needs to survive.
Yes, he needs to survive and he needs to take turns. That's his purpose. Survive, take turns. Survive, take turns. Survive, take turns.
Yeah, I don't hate.
Ooh, shit. This is some streamer luck because I just re-rolled Disguised Clone Troopers cross. I re-rolled flat protection for a speed roll.
There you go. Holy crap. I'm trying to see if your Oppo will update yet. It hasn't updated yet.
It hasn't updated yet.
Darn it. Let me see if I go back in and back out. I don't know how it should. I mean, it'd be nice if it would just update automatically. Oh, there we go. All right. Oppo is 23 has 23 speed on it now.
Like I wish it was at least a 25, but like
dude, but it started at 9. I mean,
at
that's
9.
Yeah. We're taking that.
I'm not complaining. Because, like you said, I'll use it. Like, I'll use it somewhere, even if I find something better for him.
Yes. Yeah. No, I like... Dude, that's awesome. All right, and I did want to check. Is your Jar Jar number 1 in any stat categories?
Not that I'm aware of. I did want to do that, and my goal was to use them as, like, my mod farm team, you know, and then, like, you move mods off of them. But then so many new things came to the game that I stopped doing it. And I felt like I'd be wasting way too many resources It was a thought. I just never materialized.
I've tried to like look at my Wampa and see like, hey, if I took Wampa, I have my Wampa Relic 9. I'm like, I wonder if I did this, could I get like the most offense or
Yeah.
and you start to realize that like the people who have like the highest offense or whatever, like they don't have any speed on it. Like it's all offense percent and flat offense rolls. And I'm like, this is not happening. Like I will not sacrifice this character.
You're basically sacrificing the character is what you're doing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like it's not happening. I like that you have Tarkin Relic 9 already. I need to make that.
TV just to like, I was like, let me try this. Let me see what happens.
I hate you.
They work super well.
You have the Dark Side Clone Troopers, but you don't have an Omicron on Tarkin.
What is Tarkin Omicron?
3v3 GAC.
Oh, did I not put that on? I feel like I maybe meant to, but then never did. I actually didn't even put my Datacrons on today for defense because I got so busy after this field trip I was on that I was like, all right, I'm going to do this in an hour. And then I just forgot.
Oof.
So I'm running off like base level Datacrons on my defense, and I'm just hoping that my opponent does really bad.
I remembered my Datacrons. I did not check my opponent, and they don't have Balin. And I'm like so pissed at myself because that's a automatic. I throw Jedi Master Kenobi on the back wall and just yeah.
I don't do that kind of scouting. That's too much. That's too much.
I normally like look at their GP and then decide if I'm gonna scout or not, and I just completely forgot. The last thing I want to check is do you have any of the focus Datacrons?
I do, but they're not fully upped yet.
So, but you're getting Darkside Ray from the looks of it.
Darkside Ray is a definite, and I think Hermit Yoda is the other one I bought, right?
Yes.
Some people do full-on Datacron in the first week, and then they like go after their red crate. I do it the opposite way, but I also don't go crazy. So it's probably unlikely that I'm going to bring Darkside Ray all the way to 15. I don't know if it's necessary.
I feel like that's the one you want.
It's such a great Datacron, but that team deletes things already.
I'm
it deletes it faster.
I'm very ashamed to admit that I have a level 15 Ray, a level 13 Krennic Kron.
And at what cost?
I don't want to admit what it cost.
Exactly. That's my whole thing. It's always
I burned my life. I burned my decency. I burned my crystals. And all of my Shard Shop currency. Like 50,000 Shard Shop currency.
You called up Bones and you were like, so how do you feed kids pine cones again?
Yeah. But you do need to work on Darkside Rays mods. Do you not 6E a lot of mods? Like I have like, I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. I have like over 1,000 6E mods.
You have way more 6E mods than I do, and that's because I obviously did almost 3 years of just turtling in GAC and not caring. So I didn't start doing mod refreshes at all until about a year ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because with the cadence the game was going at, I didn't need to. I had less 6E mods, but my mods were fine. I was getting what I needed to with 5A. Now with the cadence, I'm like, well, crap. Like I need to jump that up. So about a year ago, I started doing mod refreshes, and I've been significantly diverting resources to getting mods a lot faster.
I don't even do regular energy or ship right now.
I don't do regular energy or ship either.
It's kind of a problem.
Anyone at our level really does anymore.
I will once I have to for what's it called? Once like the clones go farmable, the ones I don't have, I'll have to start hammering those, but we'll cross that bridge.
when it comes to that.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pull up Wyatt's account, and then I need another beer. I should grab like 6.
Six
I need
beers.
a little. I need to bring my mini fridge out next to me. I always have to like go back to my basement for it.
I guess I'll entertain your folks here for a few minutes while you're doing that. You go get your beer. As I said to Phil before, am not being a pussy, and I am doing my GAC. I'm doing my GAC while talking to him, while nobody can even see it. So I'm not even on stream right now. And I am going to try and take Darth Sidious with the Sidious Cron against a 3 Omicron Balin. And we're just going to see what happens because Insights says that it might work maybe. Because that's just what Egnards does. So let's see what happens.
Robo Melon, my kid's not old enough to be beer fetcher. My kid's old enough to start counting, so she can't be beer fetcher anymore.
And she's like, wait a second.
Yeah,
Daddy's had a few too many of these.
There's a very fine line of window where, okay, they can go open up the fridge, they can bring it to you, they're not going to shake it, and they can't count. Because once they can count, all of a sudden, hey, mommy, guess what I did?
Ooh, shit. So Darth Sidious just soloed a 3 Omicron Balin.
There you go.
I'm feeling that because I am not a pussy. All right, you continue with Wyatt's account.
Now that we're at Wyatt here. Now we only have Dark Side Galactic Legends here, that's kind of like that's like an old school. That's like old school Sith Eternal Kylo. I mean, and then getting Jabba, but like the Sith Eternal Kylo, man, that was every free to play account ever for the longest time. I don't hate it.
That is a vibe.
And then he says, Jedi Master Mace Windu is the first new characters I'm farming on my account. I'm hoping it's not going to be disappointing.
Just like Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
That one. Disappointed.
Oh, he says he has JML. You just don't. Oh, okay. I just didn't see him because he's not on the. He doesn't have enough Zetas to be on the top of the list yet.
Oh, so he's bought. Yeah, I've done that with people before when I do reviews, and I go, oh, this is awkward. They're down there somewhere.
So I like that you have him modded. Protection. That's really good. Having all the protection is solid. So we just need to get him to Relic 7, and we need to Zeta him the hell out. Big time.
Can I just point out that you did not say that you like how he has him modded. You said you like that he has him modded, which just implies like the lowest common denominator of like, good job, you put mods on him.
Well, like, to be fair, he only has 1 Zeta on JML. Like that.
Well, it's probably new, right?
But like, there are people who probably wouldn't mod a character right away because they don't have all the stuff.
I guess that's fair.
If I click on Princess Nisa, where we've got not even a full set of level 12 mixtures, like that, I know what I'm working with. I have an idea.
It is. Force.
No, but he's got their protection mods. The stats make sense. Like this one's nice. This one's nice. Like they're all the stats make sense. I would say that all those mods are actually worth having on JML in some capacity. I would look for a little bit more protection percent, but that's getting very nitpicky for the number of GLs and mods that you do have, Wyatt. So I don't want to be too harsh.
That's fair.
And then you said you just need Padme and Dooku for Lord Vader. Like, unlocked? Or, holy shit, no, he means relic levels. Dang. This is going to be, like, one of the first accounts I'll ever see that has Lord Vader before, like, Leia or
Well,
Kenobi.
then you've never looked at Vance's account.
I've avoided just based on what I've seen in chats enough.
You have not seen that account if you're like, oh yeah. That is an
account. And he's Relic 7 Dooku too, so you're not far from Lord Vader. I wasn't sure why you were going for Mace Windu. Now that you tell me you're going to have Lord Vader, I love going for Mace because it'll get you the clones. I like that. Now, you definitely are in Caleb Wheeler called it out. You're in you're in Zeta hell.
Show me on the doll where the Zetas touched you.
yeah. Show me where your Zetas have violated you the most. Wyatt, I really, really mean this when I say it. Like, it makes a lot of sense to go in the direction that you are. Like, to me, that is a very wise decision, because a lot of players would tell you to avoid Lord Vader. He's terrible, yada, yada, yada. But you're like, nah, I can farm one of these new characters, have 2 teams for the raid, and then get the Galactic Legend that's performing at a much higher level because of characters that I'm going to be building. So I really like this. Very much like it. And yes, mods and Zetas are going to be a problem for you if you've bought Lightspeed bundles. It is going to be a fact of life for
ever.
In fact, just even forever. For me, having bought a few of the bundles, I can tell you that I am still struggling with, and I say this like kind of tongue in cheek, like I'm struggling to not rip mods off of older characters to mod my new people.
That is one thing that I've never really done. I very rarely take mods from old characters unless I just so happen to have a really great mod on a useless character. Really. I'd never have a really great mod, but like a mod that has good bones that I never fully upgraded. Like it has the right primary.
I'm like starting to look for those mods that really could this is a health primary offense set with offense percent or whatever. I spend a little bit too much on those. I don't have any. I'm actually out of the intermediate, like anything below like 6 dot. I'm like out of I'm out of all mod materials by now. Actually, I don't have a stockpile of anything.
My 6, whatever thing that is to take 5 to 6, I have a ton of. But everything else, I'm always low on.
The gold pieces?
Yeah, those I've built up so many over the years.
I actually really like that he's got Afra kind of modded out of her mind. Like 107 speed is not bad, but having a ton of having 167 potency on her, I really like.
Afra's one of my favorite teams in the game.
It is it's a very underrated team for how fun it is to use.
That's the whole thing. Like, it's fun. It doesn't always do great, but like, it's just fun. It's silly. It wins or it loses. Like, and I don't mean that to be like, duh. I just mean it like she's a glass cannon.
Yeah.
And it might work. It just might not.
Someone said pull up contest for supremacy. I'm losing that probably 11 times.
Who has a pull-up bar?
I would just assume that you're in much better shape than I am since you own a dojo.
Yeah, it's maybe true. We could do a push-up contest.
Nope. I'm also gonna lose that. The only kind of contest I could take you in is, hey, let's go run like a mile.
Speed wise, yeah, maybe, but I run, so I could keep up with you. I think speed wise, your training in track, I think you'd edge me out. Not edge.
I haven't trained in years,
but I am relatively fast, and I can hold a fast mile.
Mahirlo, my man. So, Egg, Mahir, by the way, Mahir just dropped $2 in the chat. So, Mahir is actually the first person that ever brought you up to me. And so he was like, yo, dude, have you ever, I forget, this was like years ago. And he's like, dude, yeah, he's like, you got to get on like, talk to Egnards on like Reddit. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then I forget, whenever I did 3 Scoundrels, and then I started talking to you, and he was like, dude, yeah, have you ever talked to Egnards? And I'm like, I literally now talk to him like every day.
Yeah. You know, it's sad. Like, after 3 Scoundrels, we talked once, we did Tales. You reached out to me, and then I didn't hear from you for like 3 weeks, and I reached out to you, and now I probably talk to you more than I talk to my wife.
Don't tell our wives that.
Like, I'll wake up and I'll look on Discord and I'll have like 4 messages from you at 5 a.m.
Yeah. My wife, her wives are grateful for it that we're not bothering them. My wife can watch her Love Island in peace.
She'll be like, oh, great. You have something to do? Wonderful. I love that for you. Go away. Go do something. Leave me alone.
Yeah, Wyatt. So I promise I am looking at things. It is getting this game right now. I do think it's this is a whole other discussion point that'll open up a lot of can of worms. I definitely think this game is getting to a point where it's very challenging to keep up with the pacing. That we're approaching a breaking point, I feel. And I don't know if Egnards feels that. Grumpy Penguin with the 10, I think that's Aussie dollars. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I was right. He said AUD to USD, and there's a little A next to it, so old job kicking in. But this is one of those things, Wyatt, where the best advice I have is if you're feeling that bottleneck for that kind of stuff, just start focusing. Like, that's okay to be like, hey, you know what? I need to build a lower relic galactic legend just to kind of get my feet back up.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with the point that it is a lot harder to play catch up now, especially if you're not spending considerably on, resources in general. The release cadence has just jumped, and you have to find those little things that you can do wherever you can, really is what it is.
So why are you going Leviathan then too? Like, oh my gosh, that's so many relic levels to do all at once. You got a ways to go because you still need to get Malik, and we still got a long way there. Allie just said, just buy a light speed bundle.
What is his GP?
8.9.
Okay, so yes, I think it was yesterday. I did like a whatever stream, and we rated out to this new guy, Foundling, who has a 11.8 million GP account. He's a really nice guy. It was a fun stream, chatting with him. But he's got 11.8 million GP account, and he doesn't have Leviathan. And he told me that he has never gotten fleet crystals ever.
What?
Ever. I was like, oh my god, you're hurting my soul. Like, hearing these things is killing me right now.
If you want to get killed more, Wyatt has all the Gungans almost all the Gungans at 7-star and no Jar Jar.
That's okay. That actually doesn't bother me, because I get they're like a low tier team. Like they're not a team that you need right now, so it doesn't bother me. I was mad when they became attached to the raid, because I was like, oh, I wanted to have a full R9 team and be one of the only people. So
and now everybody has it.
Everyone has them. So it doesn't bother me when people don't.
And then Wyatt, I would say the only thing to do once you get Lord Vader and you get your JML, I would very heavily consider GL Leia. Because that would be a really good kind of nice, like, all right, it's just some relic levels. You'll get to rebuild some of your Kyra tech because you have some of those things built up already. But that would be a really good kind of stopping, like a nice little segment into get done with some major things, do Leia, and then kind of reassess from there on what GL to do next. That would be my game plan, because you're still a long way off from the Leviathan on the ship front, the relic front, that I still think Leia would benefit you a lot more. And looking at, I'm just going to go back out here a sec, like you're getting close enough in Fleet Arena where I don't think Leviathan is going to... It's not like you're getting locked out of crystals in Fleet Arena. So I'd be okay with that. Mahir with the ships optional always just kills me.
Oh,
it's just
ships are not optional. That just no. That's awful. That you need ships. Ships do everything for you.
Jarrett Gilbert with the $2. Gilby, you asshole. Gilby and Mahir are guys I know in like real life.
What a bunch of losers. So you know people who actually play this game? Nerds.
Legitimately, all right, this is before I get into Grumpy Penguin's account. This is one of my favorite stories is I'm out in Harrisburg with my wife. We're going to bars, and she's out with her friend, and they just want to go like dance off on their own, and I'm like, this is gonna suck. Like I don't have anybody to hang out with, and then I run into like Mahir and Gilby and her other friend Nick and another guy, two Nicks, and all of us are kind of chilling out there, and it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, shit, I got to do my Star Wars refreshes, and so I literally pull out my phone at this bar, and I'm like hitting my and this is like pre-COVID and everything, and they're like, oh shit, Phil plays Star Wars, and so then we all found out that we all played Star Wars together, and then now we've like, Mahir, I think Mahir's, we've all kind of played, they've played on and off, I kind of stayed on post. Mahir then brought me back during COVID and was like, you have to play, and then been here ever since.
I know one person who plays. They're not a friend of mine. I will say the closest thing that happened once, I had just gotten my Egnards hoodie, which I wear just because, everything I wear has my company branding on it. So it just makes it easy for me to not have to think about what to wear. And I was out in New York City with my wife. And we'd gone into the city to have dinner, but also to meet this guy at one of our favorite bars, because he was a Star Wars player. He reached out to me, said, hey, I'm going to be in the city. You want to get a beer? And I, of course, said, I don't know about stranger danger, so of course I'll go get a beer with you.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I just seek and crave attention from people. And after we met up with him, he was a very nice guy. We went out to dinner, and I'm sitting there at the dinner table in my Eggnards hoodie, and the waiter comes up to me and starts talking to me about the hoodie, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, is this somebody who, like, knows who I am? And it wasn't. He had never played Star Wars before in his life and had no idea what I was talking about. He just thought it was a cool-looking hoodie. So that's my story.
I've never run into anybody else in the wild that plays this game outside of my friends, which is very funny. Shadow, my friend, we got you. Don't worry, man. Thank you. I'm behind, but we will get there.
Phil, I love Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow's
he goes by one, which confuses me sometimes, but still love him.
So we're here on, this is Grumpy Penguin's account. So right away, I respect this. It's ballsy to have Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan at Relic 9 this early.
Oh, okay. I was like, finish that sentence because...
Yeah, this early.
Okay.
Like, that's just because there's no Queen Amidala. There's no... It's a... Like, don't even have... Jedi Knight Anakin is not at relics. But we've got Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. So that's a pretty, like, it's a ballsy move. I like it. I respect it. To continue quoting young Lando, I don't know if I agree with it, but I like it. Jabba early, I love. I'm a big fan of Jabba early on accounts like this. You have your Executor at 5-star, especially with punishing one now. I don't think it's as important to rush Executor.
I'm confused with punishing one. You don't think it's worth it to rush it?
Not as much as it used to be. Not as much as it used to be.
As much use out of it. I don't know. I think anything you can do to get fleet crystals, you do whatever you have to do.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, let's keep looking here. So I like the ships, and I gotta say too, I'm happy to see that like there are certain ones where you're just like, okay, like your Galactic Republic right now, just like level 1. I'm okay seeing that. For some players, I'm like, we need to bump that up. I'm okay kind of just keeping them lower because it doesn't help you right now. You've got bigger fish to fry, and I'm all about that, especially when you still have prestige to spend on the Executor. Like I like the allocation of resources there is good. Just looking through, so with Jabba then you have the first, so you bought that first order bundle, and not just that, you bought the newest one with the Relic 6s. That's very
both of them, because I know a few people that were like, okay, it's worth it for me to just upgrade those relic levels.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say, obviously I was not going to buy it, but like I was very curious if Relic 5 to Relic 6 is a big jump.
Yes,
it is a very big jump.
Cost, yes,
and so I didn't hate people who did that. I'm okay with that.
If you got the income.
So are you able to start your Slicker farm then? Grumpy, are we in the middle of that farm at this point? Same thing with the Ray. I currently need 4 more days to unlock Finalizer at 5-star. Okay. And we'll have Slicker in about a week. All right. So I must have missed I missed the 4-star Finalizer. And then you've got to get cracking on Ray's ship. The great one. Did you beat the Ray? I have not tried.
No, he's being a puss.
I have not tried.
I'm sitting here doing my GAC while talking to him, and he's like, I can't do my GAC right now. I have to do it off stream. So Allie, I don't hate saying get JTR over the finish line, but he's missing the Lando's Falcon to 7-star, so he can't get a Radis yet. You need that. You need this ship for Radis, right? Same thing with Ebon Hawk. So there's a couple of those where working on the Resistance isn't going to help like working on the ships will, because you still need to get the 4-star Radis. And then he said, I plan on doing the Dark Side clones. I already have Tarkin's 7-star. So you got your Tarkin there, and then Dark Side clones. That's another ballsy move, but I kind of respect it. If you can pull it off, and again, you've bought some Lightspeed bundles, so the whole like, okay, I can spend money kind of you're willing to spend some money. I don't hate that tactic at all, because I think at your GP, people are going to look at that team and not have a clue in hell how to beat it. Mm-hmm. I've always wondered, like, hey, Justin Legolas, I don't think he's on stream right now, but Justin has a like 3 million account with he has a 3 million account with like Reva and Starkiller and Bo-Katan Mandalore and all these ridiculous things. Yeah.
Grumpy, hey, hold on, great one. You should do your GAC on stream. Dude, I literally was explaining that I was avoiding my GAC at all costs because I don't know how to beat Ray. And I fully admit that I'm a pussy. I'm not.
People are throwing their panties at you, and you're like, no, I can't do it.
I'm married.
That's fair.
But the other thing I was going to say, Grumpy, and again, Egnards and I've talked, we've got to have our own little discussion about this at some point, but mini version of it. I don't think as many guilds realize how well they're going to be able to do in the raid.
100%.
Comparative to what they do in Naboo.
Yes, I just had this conversation. I told you I was doing a project with Pico Burrito. I'm very excited for it. It's going to come out tomorrow. I had this discussion with him. Essentially, I actually said, and I've been thinking this for a few weeks, I think that the guilds on the mid and the lower end are actually going to not be very affected at all. As long as you have players who are investing their resources. You know, if you have players who are just ignoring things, then of course not. I actually think that the whale guilds are going to be the most affected because they are going to lose rewards and it's going to be a lot harder for them without the pirates.
Yes. I heard your GAC opponent is talking smack about me. That's fine. They can talk all the crap that they want. Listen, there is nothing that anyone can say in chat that will offend me. Okay, like
I'm not trying to offend you. I just want you to be an entertainer. That's all I want. I just want Phil to entertain me. Don't you guys want to be entertained by Phil?
Oh my god. Are you not entertained by roster reviews?
Are you not entertained?
It's such a great movie. Oh, somebody, RoboMelon just said our guild leadership has been doomsday talks in case JVB team is awful, but if they're not, then we're set up pretty well. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be, I actually don't think it's going to be a major problem. So, Grumpy Penguin, let me ask you this. How are you in Zeta Hell as well? Or because your Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon, those are only single Zeta characters. So you don't have, I'm looking through and it's like you have Zetas equipped on the characters that I would assume you want them on. And the ones that you don't need them on, I'm not seeing them. It's not like I'm seeing you have Zetas on Phasma and random characters that you're like, did you make a mistake? So I don't hate what I'm seeing so far. Are you in Zeta Hell or are you all right?
I would just like to remind, while you're waiting for that answer, the chat that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is not us replaying Star Wars. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, lore-wise, is a bunch of nerds sitting in a cantina, nerding out, and playing Star Wars Magic the Gathering. That is what Star Wars Galaxy Heroes is, and that's not me being anything other than that is the canon version of what we are doing when we play this game.
So he's saying he's got 3 Zetas in the bank while unlocking Slicker. That's a hell of a lot more than other people when they were going through Slicker. So I don't hate that whatsoever, man. The final thing I will tell you with Slicker is making sure that you do get more of your first order ships. You're going to have all the pilots. So getting the TIE Echelon, getting the other, TIE Dagger, it's kind of first order, not really. It's more Sith. But getting the full first order fleet will just give you a leg up in this earlier side of the game that you're in. It'll just give you something that you can throw offensively or defensively and do more than you'd be. It's actually a pretty solid fleet. I think you said you've been liking your Empire fleet. Like, you definitely have a solid Empire one. But that First Order fleet does just come in handy every once in a while for some cleanups. So, otherwise, man, I really like your direction. I think you've done a smart job of allocating your resources the right way. I don't see any, like, wasted Zetas. I don't see any Zetas where I'm like, I don't know that I agree with that one. I see Zetas I'd love to add, but I don't see any that you, he just said I can't be fucked doing the First Order fleet, would rather build up my profundity. I don't hate that either. I was just trying to get you on the, hey, you've already invested in all this stuff.
He's trying to help you out.
Yeah, just try to help. I listen, if you're all in, I just don't try to tell you to go for, like, profundity if I know you're going to be short on relics. I will like the speed of your top 10 characters. So I ignored Jabba, so there's 7. So let's go to Captain Rex. 310 is pretty good. And you still have 6 mods to go there. And let's go to Skiff Guard all the way over here. 289. That's a pretty solid. Let's go down to ARC Trooper there just to this is what I like to see, right? And I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at. Is you go from like 253 up here, and then we're coming down to, okay, now we're losing mods. All right, so we got to go back up. But to go from like 310 right here down only to like 289, 290, so you're dropping 20 speed over the course of 8 characters. I don't hate that. What I don't like to see is if you went from like 310 here on Rex down to like 250 that you have on your Wampa, which, by the way, 250 on Wampa is actually fast because it's plus 100. So for the characters that you do have and the mods you have on them, pretty solid. Actually, your Chrysanthemum's really fast. Holy shit. 292 speed. I don't even think mine's... Trying to think like how fast mine is.
A lot of people run him slow on purpose, though, right?
Mine's super slow.
I slowed mine down recently because I was like, wait a second. Once you get that invulnerability, like, you want that shit to last.
And let's see Fennec here. I'm just curious. Jeez, even 6Es on Fennec. Yeah, 270. Like, that's even this. You're not above 3. Like, this to me is more impressive because it's not a speed set. Like, getting to above 130 or close to it is solid. So I even this is a very well modded Fennec, speed wise. So yeah, I'd take a lot of solace in your mods here, man. Like, I would say those are very good mods for your galactic power. So I would continue doing what you're doing, man. Really, really good. And very, very tenacious on the Chrysanthemum.
Tenacious D.
All right, now let's get to Shadow. So he said, thanks for all the great content, Phil. Egnards, you are terrible. I don't like you at all.
I don't know if that's what was said, but I'll allow it because this is the Phil show, and I usually shit all over you when I'm running the show.
All right, so he's 7.5 million, and has Dark Side clones, all Relic 9, and Lord Vader, all Relic 9. Your GAC.
Yeah.
Your GAC opponents have to hate you. Good God. Dark Side Rey, Queen Amidala. Jeez. Yeah, your opponents hate you, don't they?
He spends the monies.
Hey, this is pure free to play.
That's what you do, man. That's the best way to do things.
Here, hold on. We'll show pure free to play, right? Pure free to play. Pure free to play. Relic 5. Depa Balaba.
Yeah. I wish I had fucking Depa. Dude,
listen, man. we are laughing because we're jealous. God, I wish I could.
I am so very jealous, honestly. Like, I wish I could first run Jedi Master Mace Windu. It's not going to happen, but it's okay. Like, we all know our lot in life, and I envy the people who are able to do that.
Pure free to play. All right, man, all for it. Let's check some speeds here. So Disguise Clone Trooper 347 is very solid. CX2 325, yep. And Oppo 323, yep. Really good. Okay. We're comfortable with those. Dark Side Ray Relic 8. Wow.
Is free to play the game. Dude is free to play the game more than us.
That is one of the funniest things.
Allie says she's free to play, and I know for a fact that Allie has spent about 80% of what I have total spent in 9 years in like the last year. So,
Allie has spent more than I have.
You've spent what, $3? Come on.
No, I buy the episode pass every month.
That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot that you are an episode pass junkie.
Gilby says he's free to play, gang. I need him to send me a screenshot of his name. Because that used to be when we were first restarting the game and they were all buying the hyperdrive bundle, and he went in and leveled all of his characters from 80 to 85 so that way it didn't look like he bought the bundle. Because it... and he did it like really, he didn't tell any of us, and we called him out on it.
Allie,
oh my god!
On this game,
now I'm like all lost on this account, Shadow. So you're gonna get Mace, but we can't. Can you not get Jocasta, or are you getting Jocasta soon?
That's going to be rough if not being able to get Jocasta new.
I
feel like by 6th run, like you should be able to do that without too much problem.
Especially with an account like this where they're like you spent on the teams that are kind of... Okay, so he said gonna get Mace, and I'm getting Jocasta and Bane end of this conquest.
Okay.
Holy hell. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm much happier. I'd say I'm much happier. I'm in a much better mental state now that you said that. So I'm good with that. Get Mace Windu. The next, honestly, for you're gonna have your clones. I would get Tarkin to Relic 9, just because I think you've spent whatever it is to get your clones there. It, in my opinion, is if I see this, I'm going to tell everybody. There's no reason to have Relic 9 clones and a Relic 7 Tarkin at this point. Either you keep your clones at Relic 7 or you bring your Tarkin in 9. I'm not going to be clones go with Lord Vader, so I'm going to give you a pass. Like, that's not the way this is going to work. So I would highly recommend doing that. And in fact, I would argue that's a more important immediate relic level than, depending where your guild is. Like, getting 3.6 million is crazy. It'll just depend on how good the clones are in the raid. I'm assuming they're going to be good.
I don't think any of these new team. I'm going to assume that every team is going to be able to max the applicable tier for them. I think they're going to be fine at Relic 9. I don't think there's going to be a problem because people will unleash hell if they are problematic.
Big time. I also really like your spread of. I say this to a lot of players, but I agree.
You agree
I
with
really
yourself?
like the spread of Zetas. Like, I try to look at the Zetas like no Zeta on Clone Trooper or Arc Trooper. Like, Chef's Kiss. That's like a smart decision. Now, Anakin, maybe we need to have a little discussion with because I don't know that. But you also have Padme, and you don't have, like, Jedi Master Kenobi and people, so maybe that makes sense. You're asking, should you Relic 9 Mace Windu for the Era battle?
I mean, you're going to get crystals back.
You're going to get crystals back. You're going to get the... I would say yes. As I'd argue... I feel like yes is the answer.
But now here's the one problem. Jocasta Nu is eligible for that tier. And I don't know if that tier is going to be doable without both of them. So you're going to have to wait that day and play it by ear. But if it's doable with just him, I would say it's totally worth it.
Is Jocasta, Depa, and Temple Guard are the ones, right?
So I think from the data mine, it says that only Jocasta Nu, but then in the notes, it says recommended 3 R9s. So I do think that they're all applicable.
Yeah, and my fear, much like a lot of chat is saying between Shadow, Grumpy Old Man to the same thing, like, I don't know that he can solo it. Especially what we saw with Oppo in the Era battle comparative to Oppo and CX2 compared to Oppo, CX2, and Disguised Clone Trooper, and compared to Oppo, CX2, Disguised Clone Trooper, and Scorch. I think we very much saw differences there.
Yeah, but the nice thing is you're going to have that 24-hour period where, like, just follow the Discords, follow what people are posting and make your decision based upon what other people have done.
I heard Jedi Master Mace and Depa could do it, but someone that was able to sim it, but we will see. Is that Barb? Did Barb maybe do that on his test server or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, so to answer Shadow, the way I would answer that, from an ROI perspective, the Era battle with Mace Windu makes more sense. From a safety perspective, Tarkin is the answer. Tarkin's your safe option because it's one. With Mace Windu, there's a potential where you're going to... I'd say, realistically, you're going to need Jocasta, if not Depa again. I'd say 2 to 3. And you also still need to consider, and again, I don't know how much you spend. I don't know if this is a, hey, I'm doing it now, or this is going to be your future state of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But I also would be careful on spending Relic 9s like candy, simply because they're going to become more and more important when you try to get the things like Ahsoka, Leviathan, Profundity, and I'm sure with this Pirate Galactic Legend, we could see more of it.
Those things get expensive. 100%.
Robo Melon with another 10, as Arnold would say, $10 trillion donation to the Wampa Cave. But no, yeah, to finish Shadow here, the only other thing I would say, just in general on your account, I would start thinking about some other galactic legends besides Lord Vader, besides Kylo. Yeah, you're poor. So you're poor on arrow magnifiers. I'm not overly shocked to hear that, because they're a very, time constrictive resource. So that's where I would kind of revert back to some of those older galactic legends like a Jabba and a Leia. 2 Relic 8s, really good performance, not a lot of extra work required in either one, and performance is sky high.
Yeah.
Where JML, as much as I love JML, he needs Jedi Knight Revan, he needs Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and Hermit Yoda's Focus Datacron, apparently. And Egg, if you need to split, I know I'm actually going to beat you to saying this. If you need to split, don't feel like you need to hang around. I'm going to grab it.
I was actually, now I feel weird because I was going to wait until Shadow's review was done to say I am going to bed because, Shadow and I go way back. But if you're done there, then I'll say my goodbyes.
I think I'm almost done. But I wanted to beat, I'm glad I beat you to it for once.
Well, because you start your shit so late and then you're like, all right, we're going to sit here for 6 hours. And I'm like, I don't work from home.
Work from home, got children, pain and everything.
I have to actually go to work.
Yeah, Jabba is in sights. That makes sense. Yeah, oh yeah, Jabba's definitely in your sights. Holy shit, yeah. Yeah, I liked the Jabba will be a really good one. It'll get you mods, and then you can start working on your rebels for Leia, because you have a lot of them already there. So it's not a super ridiculous amount more work to keep going. Otherwise, man, listen. Jeez, even look at the Datacrons. Oh my gosh, yeah. Shadow, so you're not going to have a problem spending on anything with the amount of Datacrons you have. This is the final piece of advice I will give you. When it comes to spending money, the last thing I will tell you is make sure that you, and this is going to sound weird, you spread it out. Don't just go all in on characters. Don't go all in on gear. You almost want to spread it out a little bit because you'll end up in a bottleneck where you're not going to have enough of a certain resource. And that's something I've learned just from over the years of talking with guys who do spend that money is you've got to spread it out or else you're going to end up in a really bad bottleneck. Like everybody with these Lightspeed bundles who wailed on a bundle, didn't buy Zetas, didn't buy mods, didn't buy Omicrons, didn't buy any of their stuff they need, and now they're like, I don't know what to do. That's my one advice for spending money. So, but Shadow, appreciate the account. Egnards, man, what do you want to sign off with?
If I could say anything, I could use this time to plug my content, and I could use time to plug, my YouTube and Substack and everything. But I would prefer to just say that Fat Phil is a piece of shit and has bad takes. I don't like him very much. I would like to get him a tinfoil hat for real. And I would give it to him in person, but he would probably ghost me anyway. So if you guys actually sit around and watch the rest of this stream because you have nothing better to do, which makes sense because it's almost midnight. I just ask that you all harass him for the next hour or two and make his job as difficult as possible. That's it.
Allie said plug the Gungies.
Oh, yeah. Right. The Gungies. Gungies are coming up. I mean, we're starting with the Gungies. We have the sheet out. We're doing our fundraiser now for it. It's in full swing. Just be excited. Just talk about it. That's all I need people to do is talk about the Gungies. Tell people you're excited about them. Talk about them on Arnold's channel. Fucking legitimize them. Like, make people be like, oh, the Gungies, what? So we can have a crazy, even crazier time next year. This year, but next year.
Absolutely. All right, dude. Get some sleep.
All right, Phil. Have a good rest of your stream, man.
Thanks for joining, man. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, tomorrow, like 5 hours.
Yeah.
See you later, man.
All right, folks. Oh, and we've got a beaver raid coming in. What's up, Chosen Chaos? All right, so Robo Melon. All right. Let's grab your account. And then I did not forget this, Dalton. Rabid, what's going on, my man? I did not forget your comment on the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup playoffs. I did not forget. Listen, man, I'm going to be honest, all right? I got to be honest here. The Oilers franchise is an absolute dumpster fire. Everybody not named McDavid should just leave and replace everybody. The fact that Draisaitl was like dog for how long in those games. Good Lord. Panthers by far and away were the better team. And it sucks because Connor McDavid has been the best player for, playoffs, and like he's giving them pucks on a silver platter and they just can't put him away. So I wanted to circle back to that because I watched more of the Stanley Cup than I care to admit for various reasons. And, yeah, man, I felt like McDavid just got hoed by his teammates. It was a disaster. Absolute disaster class. So we're going to get into Robo Melon's account here. Give me 1 sec to grab another beer, and then we're going to keep this going. All right, we are back. How much money did I lose over the Stanley Cup? Not a lot. Not as much as some people that I know. I'll say it like that. All right, so let's talk. So he's going back to the question about transition farming new content while filling in old. Is Lord Vader to Jedi Master Kenobi to Balin enough added to start that? Ignoring Jedi Knight Cal until the guild pushes for him. Bad Batch and Mace Windu next. Okay. So let's just take a look. I see Girl Dater just got Jabba, Leia, or Levi next. Girl Dater, we will next on the list here, my man. All right, let's keep going. Let's look through here. All right, so you're saying and I'm looking here, Robo Melon. So you're saying, do you want to go for Lord Vader, or are you kind of thinking skipping Lord Vader? I've got the gear prepped for Bad Batch first raid, going for Jedi Master Mace on first return, 2 months away from gas unlock. Okay, so yeah, I would say if you get the one change I would make to the way that you kind of have this, I like Lord Vader after, so Bad Batch Mace next, and then Lord Vader. I like that. I like leading into it that way. I do believe that is the best kind of direction to go. The one thing you're going to have to factor in is Zetas on Tarkin. Which, not the end of the world. He is a fleet commander. That Executrix fleet is very good in certain situations. It still does beat Profundity. So it's a very, very good fleet. Now, going after Jedi Master Kenobi. The tough thing here, you've got 300 Zeta mats saved right now. I'm good. Holy hell, that's awesome. Okay. So, and I might have missed this. All right, so how much gear do you have saved? Because this is concerning me. If you have a lot of gear saved, you're not going to get Mace Windu. If you can get your Bad Batch going, and you can get Mace Windu on the first return, so you're not going to get him right away. You're going to have some downtime. Go with her own path. Just one Zeta on her own path. and then go ahead and grab the God, I can't even talk right now. Sorry, give me 1 sec to pause. Caleb, yes, Florida did win the football and basketball national championships in 2006. They beat my Ohio State Buckeyes in the process. I'm still not over that, and that was 19 years ago. I'm still not over those games. I'll die on the hill that if that freaking idiot didn't let me rephrase, didn't take his cleat down the back of Ted Ginn Jr.'s Achilles after he'd returned the opening kickoff for a fucking touchdown, that Ohio State could have potentially beat Tebow in that championship. And instead, I have to live with the shame that we got absolutely blown out in that game. Sorry, I get very passionate about my sports. Going back to what I said. You're a Georgia fan, Caleb? Go to hell. I hate you. I'll never... If I met Noah Ruggles in the streets, I'd beat the living shit out of him. Getting back to our review. Smooth, seamless transition. Robo, so here's what I would say. Commander Tano, because you have Rey, you're going to benefit... Rey, I clicked on Datacrons. Because you have Rey, Commander Tano just adds so much depth to that team. She really does. She adds a ton of depth to that team. She will make it a much more challenging battle for people. And like the big thing too, especially at your galactic power, is most people are probably used to seeing Commander Tano with Jedi Master Kenobi. And when you put her in that Rey team, she kind of takes on this different light. She kind of takes on this new purpose where she kind of becomes this soft target where like you've got to take care of her, because if you don't kill Commander Tano, Rey will destroy you with all the health, protection, defense. Like it's actually a very, very challenging thing. So I would say that I would make that. I know she's not needed for the raid, but that's a really, really big one for me that I say that like that's a character that to me takes precedent over a lot of other things because of what she does. So, if you can get your Bad Batch for the first raid done, I would add Commander Tano there as soon as possible. Then what I would personally do, yes, it's absolutely worth delaying General Skywalker and Lord Vader for Commander Tano, in my opinion. That's Commander Tano for me. That's a character I'm willing to delay other things for, because what I'm even gonna say is, if you're committed to Jedi, the thing with Mace Windu, right, is. And I'm just going to use, I'll get back into your account in a sec. What I want to show is like, Mace Windu's not available right now. And you think even a character like Balin, right? Balin's event is not available. So your primary focus, if you're going to go for Jedi Master Mace Windu, you need to make that priority. And you want to make not just Mace Windu the priority, but his team the priority. Because you've got to have, okay, I need to get Mace. Like that, you cannot have gear into this Lord Vader farm that could go into potentially getting Jedi Master Mace Windu. So your entire, like all of your stuff, what you need to have is, hey, I've got my clones at Relic 5. I've got my Jedi Vanguard at Relic 5. I'm going to have Mace at whatever Relic level I need him at. And then we worry about everything else. Because Lord Vader will always be there. Right? Lord Vader's in the journey guide permanently. You can't miss Lord Vader's event by months. Maybe a day or two, but Mace, you could miss by 3 months. So, the building Commander Tano, so all this kind of flowing into building Commander Tano, what this gives you is, okay, I'm not going to have a new galactic legend like Lord Vader, but what I'm going to have is a character who elevates my current teams. I didn't spend too much resources to do it, because for what you have in your account and what you're going to do next, I'm assuming gearing a character like Commander Tano isn't a big deal. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I don't think it's that tragic of a thing for an account of your size and with what you do have invested so far. So that will kind of help kind of stopgap you until you do get Lord Vader there. And then you said Jedi Master Kenobi. I don't hate going for Kenobi, especially after Lord Vader, because you'll have built Padme up. You already have Snips, right? Where's Snips at? Yeah, you already have Snips. You'll need her Zeta, but you have a lot of them. You'll have your Commander Tano built, and then, General Kenobi kind of gets built up because of the Rex. No, I have a huge stockpile, but it's about an 8 to 9 day wait. Yeah, so here's what I would do, RoboMelon. I would legitimately just get all of your gear situated for your mace team. That includes that includes this, right? So you'd go, all right, I have the clone troopers. I've got the Jedi Vanguard characters, right? I've got Depa. I've got Temple Guard. The other thing I will say is also make sure that you're saving gear, not just for Jocasta, but also for Mace himself. Make sure that by the time you get him, you've invested all these resources into him, get Mace. And it's a pretty simple thing to do where you can go to Swago, go to swagoevents.gg or Swago Gear. Let me share this website here. This is a really good website. I don't know if everybody uses this or not, but I use it a lot here. So you can go to this website, guys. Swago Events Gear. Allie, good night. And RoboMelon, yes, you're spot on so far that we're going to get Mace, we're going to get that team, we're going to do all of that stuff, and then get Commander Tano, then Lord Vader, then Kenobi. You want to use that. But this gear Swago events, what you can do, you can put in your account. Let me share this on my screen. Because this is one of the more important websites that you'll use in your time. Let me see. Let me make sure I got the right thing up. So you can go on here, right? Enter your account. You can enter your ally code. It'll refresh. And then what you can do is go select the character that you want to build. So there's Ahsoka. I'm trying to see, is Mace Windu added in here yet or not? I don't even know if maybe Mace isn't in here yet. Let's see if I need to refresh it or something. Whoops. Yeah, I don't see Mace. Maybe Mace isn't added yet. I wonder if the characters are. So we might have to, I might have to do this the hard way. So you could add like Oppo and, so you might have to do it the hard way where you have to add the characters manually, but you can come in here. It'll tell you the relics that you would need. It'll tell you the gear pieces that you need. And so if you kind of have a stockpile of, okay, I know I have this many Electrum conductors, this many of this many of that, whatever the case is, you'll be able to tell based on that website. Yeah, and if you're tracking your gear, you say you have a spreadsheet. If you're tracking your gear, that also works. And then once you know that you have enough gear to, I'm going to put her, now that Egg's gone, I'm going to put her music back on, just softly in the background. But once you have the gear that you need kind of situated, I would 100% just tell you, hey, then we start going for Cat. Check general chat. Which general chat? My Discord? Oh, holy crap, yeah. Okay. You have a very... holy shit, dude. You have a very detailed spreadsheet. Yeah, hold on, I'm like taking it all in here. Holy moly. Yeah, so you're going to be fine. If you have that kind of tracking in place, you're going to know when you can actually go back to your Commander Tano and start equipping that gear. You'll know when you can start your Lord Vader farm. And then going Kenobi to Balin, I also like that trend as well because you have a lot of the Galactic Republic built. And then going for Balin. Balin's a great character. You're a further way away from Great Mothers and all that, which, you know, again, that kind of makes sense. But I do notice you have your remnants at Relic 7, which respect. Not Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, but that's okay. We can wait on that. But having these guys there, that's really, really good. So are you kind of close to Ahsoka? Or did you farm remnants? Again, I don't hate the decision. I think the remnants are a very, that's a very good investment. So we're missing Lord Vader, you're missing Ahsoka, and you're missing Kenobi from a Galactic Legend perspective. Ships-wise, let's just see. You've got all the major ships. I will tell you, I would try to finish off your Common Pants here. That's a big ship we'll want to finish off. TIE Reaper, like, so I would start working on some of these ships you don't have at 7 stars. I would start trying to get them over the finish line. They do help. They do make a difference. Maybe not sometimes you see it, but I promise you they will make a big difference in your account. Just whether it's on offense or defense, it does help a lot. Yeah, and you say you're missing Ufus, which Ufus, yeah, they are a big team. Malicos, Fulcrum, yeah, Baby Cal. So in terms of just the Ufus you have down here, the order of operations that I would probably go in at this point, I would go Cal, or I would go Ahsoka, then I would go Cal. Again, whenever you're ready to build them. Obviously, Ahsoka is coming a lot sooner than these guys. But Cal, Seer, then Malicos would be the order I would go in. Unless you have, because you don't have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis yet, so it doesn't matter. If you did somehow have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, then a discussion does come into play of I would put relics into Seer to be able to get to Zephos sooner. But again, kind of topic for another day there on where you're at. Otherwise, dude, I really like where your account is. I think you have the right mindset. You're obviously much more detailed with your farming than I am, which that's never a bad thing. What I would say is when you're building up these teams, the biggest piece of advice I have is don't cheap out on your mods. Spend the resources now to get the right mods on those teams. Like you heard with Egnards, where he said, hey, for the longest time, I wasn't refreshing mods, and now he's paying for it. So the sooner that you can do that, like with these new teams, make sure that while you're building those teams, while you're working on these new characters, you're building your mods up with them. And that way, it's not this order of, okay, I got the characters, now I've got to figure out where all their mods are going to come from. You've been working on what they're going to need in advance, and then you're good to go. And you said, if I'm going to pivot to doing majority new content, should I finish out all those except maybe Ahsoka, or is one of them skippable? Honestly, I think between Lord Vader, JMK, Balin, skippable is a very tough thing. I'd argue right now they all have their purpose. Oh, excuse me. They all have a purpose in the game. I'd say the biggest thing is I would argue that maybe Balin is the one right now that I would probably kick out of that group. I like Balin, but he's not a galactic legend, and that limits what he can do personally. I think he said sort by physical damage. Slicker at 11,566. That's pretty good for Relic 7. That's very good for Relic 7. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very well modded Slicker for a Relic 7, particularly with a those are solid mods. I very much like the way you've modded him. That is after my own heart. Like the way Slicker's modded. Jedi Knight Luke, and this is going to be... This 11,000 is even more impressive considering you're missing a 6E mod here. Yeah, I noticed Slickers. I went through the mods. I saw that they were health. They were not offense primary. So you're modded him like the way I did, where you went with health and then tried to get offense percent secondaries. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with your Jedi Knight Luke's offense there, missing a 6E mod. That is also very, very good. I'm just looking to see if I know what mine is off the top of my head or not. I don't think I look at mine anymore. I don't look at mine on my GAC comparison. But very good mods here. The account started in December 2024. Hold on. So you have 10 million galactic power, and this account... Hold on. Caleb, good night, man. Your account is only 6 months old. You did all this in 6 months? That's crazy work. No way. 1 year, 6 months. Okay. So you started in December 23. Okay. Still a lot of, that's still a lot of work for a year and a half, but wow. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I would say of those, Balin is the one I would cut out. I think you're too close to... I think you're too close to Lord Vader. You're too close to Kenobi to give up. So Balin kind of fits that obvious answer there. Ahsoka, in my opinion, you are still very far away from Ahsoka, so you can kind of shelf her for a little bit. Because, like, your Commander Tano's not at Relics, your Fulcrum's not at Relics, Snips is only Relic 5, your Plo Koon is only Relic 5, like, you'd have a lot more Relics to go. You don't have General Skywalker yet. I think we can kind of hold off on Ahsoka for the time being, simply because I think it's just a bridge too far. That's just my thought process. That I'd probably say of Baylan and Ahsoka. And I have a video, guys, that will be coming out kind of talking about some hot takes related to Ahsoka. But I think right now that is a GL that we can probably skip. Yeah, I would definitely farm those slowly. I like your methodology of slowly. Let the game come to you. Let the stuff kind of naturally happen, in your account. Don't try to force in a new farm. Just let it happen. If something's going off this month and you don't have the time, you'd be able to fix it. But I think the pace at which you're moving is obviously very, breakneck speed for a year and a half here. But what I like to see with accounts like this, you have the direction, you have the purpose, you know where you're going. And so I feel confident that I don't need to sit here and tell you to farm something because you already know it. So the bigger thing is recognizing what I would say is if something with these pirates, right? The one thing to consider for your account will be the pirates. How pirates will play a role in this game could potentially supersede something like those other farms that you're not close to. Because you're going to have time to react to pirates. They're going to come out. You're not going to be able to farm them for a little bit. So you're going to have time to pivot your account and pivot your resources. And that is something I would do at your GP. It's the first time I mentioned that tonight because I think it's the first account where you're really right on that precipice. And that is something to maybe start considering, is taking a look at those pirates and maybe how we can, make that process happen. So I am going to move to the next account here, Girl Dater. Right, so we got Girl Dater with the 2 trillion bajillion, and they asked the question, just got Jabba, Leia, or Leviathan next. So let's take a look here, and if you want to give me 1 sec, I'm going to quick go outside to, I gotta go piss in my bushes, guys. We're not gonna beat around the bush here. I gotta go outside and piss. Give me 1 sec. All right, so this is Girl Dater's account, right? I clicked on the right account. All right, so he's saying Jabba or Leia. Leia or Levi next. All right. So, let's take a look here. Now, you said you just got Jabba? Yeah, okay. So, Girl Dater, let's get to know this account a little bit. Zetas seem to be a problem if we have one on Jabba on unlock day. So are we struggling? If we're struggling for Zetas, right? If you're struggling for Zetas, I think the Sith Empire going towards Leviathan will make a lot more sense than Leia. From the standpoint that you're going to need time to recuperate the Zetas you spent on Jabba and his team. and looking at your rebels, struggling for Zetas for sure. So just looking at your rebels, you need 2 for Drogon. You're going to need 2 on R2. You're going to need 6 on Leia. So now you're at 10 Zetas already for Leia. You then need to add in probably, I don't know if you maybe need any more for that team. I feel like that's, so argue 10 Zetas for Leia, bare minimum. Where I look at your Sith Empire, and you've got the Zetas on Malak, you've got the Zetas on Revan, you've got Zetas on Malgus. At this point, it's just gear for you. And so then it just comes down to your ships. And I think you said you are 20 shards short before 7-star. So yeah, I mean, I think Leviathan's the no-brainer here. It makes so much more sense. Just kind of get your requirements there, and during that time, you're going to build the Zetas for Jabba, and then you'll start building the Zetas for Leia, and the world will be a happy place. And if you happen to get your Leviathan and you're still short on Zetas, whether it's for Jabba or Leia, because Zetas take a long time to fill up. They really do. Then what I would potentially say you could think about is looking at some of the other characters or teams in your account and thinking about where you want to upgrade their relics to. I'm looking at your clone troopers here. You've got them at Relic 5. I'm assuming you're trying to go after Jedi Master Mace Windu. Maybe we think about bumping their relics up if we get Leviathan super quickly. You know, we still don't have the Zetas to equip to Leia. We start investing in teams where we do have those Zetas. Because at that point, right, if you invest in the teams that you do have Zetas on, you're just upgrading their relics. And again, is buying you time to accumulate more Zetas and work on other teams that are in need of them. So I would say Leviathan first, then Leia. And if we still have time in between those, then we start maybe building out some of these teams for the raid. I'm going to unlock Queen Amidala this next Proving Ground cycle. Should I gear her up and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon? I'm going to say no. Not because they aren't a very good team. They're a great team. It's 4 extra Zetas you'll have to spend. And you're not going for Mace yet. I ship out for Air Force on Tuesday and won't be playing for 2 months, so I'll miss the event. Oh, well, 1. All right, 1. Thank you for your service, sir. We appreciate service members on this channel. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate that. With that in mind, I still would say it in this light. With you going to be taking a that's a great comment. Yes, 1 Trey Green with the salute, and then find a friend to guilt into playing the account. That is a great one. Or even if you have a guild member that you trust, that can be another solid option. Again, I can't encourage that because that breaches TOS, but you know, hint, hint, wink, wink kind of deal. So yeah, I would be okay with that. But my problem with Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon and Queen Amidala now is with the Naboo raid sunsetting, we now need to solely look at that team from a performance standpoint, from a assault battle perspective. And while that assault battle is very lucrative, it's only as lucrative as your needs are. Meaning, a lot of players, they pay attention to the Relic 9 tier. They think the Relic 9 tier is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they ignore that they need to spend how many Relic Gates to get there. So, let's kind of consider that. So I would personally hold off on them because they're not inside of that raid, and I would not want you to be missing out on further time in a good guild after, shipping out, right, for the Air Force. After you ship out, hey, buddy. Hi, Pip. Unexpected visitor. But what I was going to say is, like, you're already going to be missing time. I wouldn't want you to miss more because you've allocated your resources poorly. I would just try to set yourself up as much as you can to be able to get Mace Windu as soon as possible. Because of what you've invested in the clones. Like, you've put some serious investment into these clones. It would be silly to throw all that away when you could get Mace pretty quickly. So I would definitely consider this kind of as your path forward, right? Somebody needs to start a company that would play Swago for you while you're, like, away or on vacation or something like that. Yeah, cat cameo. Seriously, no, that the Fat Phil household is very pet cameo friendly. I don't know if you guys saw Zeus when we were going outside, but my husky boy's down with me, and then my other two cats are roaming somewhere. And you said you're missing out on Jocasta, so that has you nervous going for Mace. Yeah, that definitely is not ideal. As long as you've put yourself in as good of a position to get as many shards as possible, there are ways you can make that up. It's not easy, but there are ways that you can make that up even before they go to proving grounds. Like if I just go into my conquest right now, if Pip actually lets me use the mouse, he's like, I wish you guys could see him on the camera. He's got his head resting on my hand and is like pushing my mouse all over the place. So like if you needed Ezra Bridger shards, you could buy them for some currency. They also sell them for crystals. It'd be the same thing with your Jocasta. They'll sell it for currency, they'll sell it for crystals, and you can try and figure out where you're going to rate her on that tier of missing resources, or however you want to phrase it. So do you have any other like questions there? Yes, Shitstorm, I'm still playing Conquest. Idiot. Sorry I didn't max crate everything day one like you. Hey, Shitstorm, though. You would be proud. I do have a level 15 focused Datacron. So, hey, credit where it's due. We've made slow progress. Girl Dater, the last thing I would say for your account is when you get Leviathan, right? And I say when you get Leviathan, I would make sure that you are comfortable either countering on offense or that you have the rest of the ships required to, whether it's counter Leviathan or Profundity or Executor or whatever it is. So, yeah, Leviathan and Mace Rex, what would you recommend? If you're going to take time off, right? If you're going to take time off, Leviathan first, then I'd argue Leia. Because taking 2 months off, I don't know that you'll have enough time to get Mace Windu without having to drop some serious coin. Now, I could be very wrong there, but I would argue that you get your Leviathan and then kind of reassess if you want to go after the rebels here. Or whether you think that Mace Windu would be your better option. And I think the other thing you need to weigh in that is Conquest. And when I kind of take all that into the equation, I feel like the better decision would be get Leviathan, get Leia, and then kind of figure it out from there. So that's kind of it's the end of that. I don't know, it's kind of a weird way to end a roster review, but it's kind of the last thing I can think of for that account. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Holy crap, it's literally midnight now. I gotta put on the tactical scanners to make sure I can read everything. See, Arnold's tactical scanners are for show. Mine actually serve a purpose. These are legitimately reading glasses. I am a 31-year-old man that has to wear reading glasses because my vision is so bad. Literally. So do you guys have any other kind of questions, comments? I know Mahir was asking me to have a slight discussion around some Ewoks and their potential use in the meta. I can tell you that the way I use Ewoks is exactly the way that I use cactus to massage myself. I don't. Mahir, if you're still watching, shout out. Ewoks are useless. They're just have no place in the meta. Yeah, Girl Dare, I appreciate that. No, man, thank you. Seriously, like I do. Your roster, you're right. The roster's kind of guiding you a little bit, and that's actually perfect. Like, notice the signs in your account that you're running out of a resource, and then pivot to not focus on what that resource is. So whether that's Zetas, Omicrons, Kyrotech, signal data, ship shards, whatever it is, pivot to what is not a problem for you. Sort of make that a problem so that what was a problem is no longer a problem. It's kind of it's the circle of Swago. And that sounds super strange, but I think that's kind of the best way to think about it, is like just kind of let everything sort of flow in there naturally on its own. Hey there, good to eat cooldowns if you fail and need to reset. Yeah, that's a very good point. So guys, anything else for me tonight? Any other way to pivot from Zetas? So the way you pivot from Zetas, man, this is the way you pivot, right? This is how I've pivoted from Zetas. When you need Zetas, what you do is transition to just building out the stuff that you already have Zetas on. So if I went back into your account, right? Hey, I just need some time to build up Zetas. That's where you go and add relic levels to your clones. You've got the Zetas on them already. Just add some relic levels to them. Make them significantly better. That's what I would do. I would just work on the characters to say, hey, you know what? They don't need any Zetas. They just need signal data, and kind of work through that way, right? That's kind of the thought process that I would get at, right? Is, pick a platoon for your guild. Like, just pick something, focus on something that the Zeta doesn't change, or you've already got it equipped, and build up gear. That is how I've always pivoted from Zetas. That's how I've always moved away from them, is figured out what doesn't need a Zeta. All right, so now we're on to Ethan King. Just came in with the 2 trillion, bazillion, buckaroonies. Just got Lord Vader and needs some tips onward. All right, so we got Lord Vader. Do you have any intention of building dark side clones? Yeah, dude, that's seriously. It's a girl dater. That's not a, and again, I know we're in Ethan King's account here, but you're not alone in the way that you say that, right? Like, you're not alone in not recognizing that the way that you stockpile Zetas is just work on the characters you've already equipped them on. It's one of the best things that I've ever done. It really has helped me over the years. So getting into Ethan's account, Ethan, do you have any plans at getting the dark side clones? Is that like the next team that you're building, or are you kind of going another direction, right? Like, is that, are we working there, or do we have another plan in place of what we want to be doing? Right, he says, I got all the episode passes for clones, but want to keep rest of the farm as light spending as possible. Okay, yeah, so we have Lord Vader now. Lord Vader's a good start. So let's kind of take a look at your unaligned force users here. So yeah, I would definitely say focusing on the dark side clones is good. I would also tell you that you need to gear up Ben Solo and Commander Tano. You have Rey at relic levels. You're missing out on the two best characters for her team, not named Ezra Bridger, in Commander Tano and Ben Solo. And they don't need, I will argue, like, at 8.6 million galactic power, if you took them both to, like, Relic 5, they're going to be fine for the longest time. They're going to serve their purpose. So I would definitely consider kind of working on that. You've got one of the toughest positions a lot of accounts are in right now is balancing working on the new raid, working on the new teams, and revisiting these older things. And this is one of those instances where I think revisiting those older topics is a good thing. So we have a maxed out Executor, no Profundity, no Leviathan. So what I would definitely say, in regards to your pilots, regards to your ships, give me 1 second, I'm going to try and crack my back. One moment, guys. Hold on. Oh, that's better. Sorry, my back gets real stiff. And he said, yeah, them and Darkside Rey have been the focus. So Darkside Rey, and I think I saw she's gear 12. Yeah. And we don't have any, so I'm not kicking my cat. I would never kick my cat. So Ethan, how are you in regards to mods and Zetas? Are those kind of your big bottlenecks? Is that where you have the biggest problems? Because Darkside Rey, no Zetas, no Omicrons, no mods is kind of a scary thought. Cat greater than human. There's far too many people who would agree with that, Stitch. Far too many people would agree with that. So, Ethan King, Zeta's 100% your bottleneck. All right. So, with Zeta's being your bottleneck, what I'm going to tell you to do is you got to start getting ready for some ships. You just got the last Lord Vader Zeta today. Yeah. Mods 2, most aren't great. Yeah. So here's what I would do. Let's start with mods, because mods are a little bit easier. Focus on a team at a time. Focus on making that team, focus on a character, then focus on a team, then focus here, then focus here. And you'll eventually get to the point where mods become like sort of second nature to you, and you're understanding which ones to upgrade and which ones to not. In regards to, again, your Zetas, that's just like I had, mentioned before. Find the characters that don't need the Zeta or don't need as many Zetas and still are extremely powerful. And I think, Ethan, are mods a problem? Because, if I just click on a random character here, I'm assuming that mods are a problem spawned from the Lightspeed bundles. That, like, we bought our bundles, character, their thing is that... Oh, excuse me, sorry, guys. Is that kind of the vibe? Is that kind of what we ended up with here and why it looks the way that it does? Or was there something else that I just, completely missed? But I would say for your mods and your Zetas, you've just got to get your account in the right place. So I know that sounds weird, but like that's the big thing, is just getting your account ready that it can start taking those relics on, that it can start taking those mods and getting them ready to go. The other thing with mods too that I will say is, don't be afraid to take a chance on, so these right here. Sell any mod that doesn't have speed. Like, all of Rex's mods here, I'm going to be very honest, all of these mods can get sold. They're not good enough for a player like him. A character like him. Gosh, you guys can tell it's late at night when I start jumbling up all my words. If we keep going to, say, like Chewbacca, we need a full set there, right? So, while it's really good to have good mods on your best teams, it can at times be more beneficial to have your best mods spread out amongst your top 50 teams. So don't get hyper focused on just doing one singular character. Kind of look at it from the full puzzle, and maybe you'll see, a little bit more clearly. So I hope that kind of answers your questions, Ethan. Do you have anything else for me, man? Otherwise, I do feel I need to call it a night here at 12:15. I can definitely tell my eyes. If I put on my glasses on a stream, y'all know that Fat Phil's tired. That's just that's the damn truth of it. So you guys have anything else for me before we call it a night here? I really appreciate everybody hopping on. We had Rabbit Beaver's crew come in and raid us. Egnards for joining me. That was a lot of fun. I always love the opportunity to collab with Egg. So Journey Focus. Man. Journey Focus, Ethan, I'm going to say, if you can commit to getting Mace Windu, get Mace Windu. If you can't commit to getting Mace Windu, I'm going to tell you that your focus should be getting Leia Organa. Leia just makes the most sense. She's the most powerful, and you're going to be in the best shape possible. So Leia would be the thing that I would build because you don't have it. So, That's the stream, guys. Unless there's any last minute things, I think I'm gonna just call it a night here and get going to bed. I am beat. So I can't thank you guys. Yeah. Oh, Dalton, man, you get me going on sports on a good stream. I'll have to do a sports stream sometime. I could talk for hours on sports. Still salty about those Gators in 2006. It's a terrible year for me. But no, I appreciate everybody. Please like and subscribe, comment, and let me, like Dalton there. It doesn't always have to be Star Wars. I love talking sports. I love talking, it doesn't have to be Galaxy of Heroes. I love talking Star Wars in general. I've enjoyed trying to stream more with you guys. I've been trying to be more intentional with that because it is a lot of fun. So I really appreciate everybody. Oh, there we go. Oh, hi. Oh. Yeah, I'm a huge Robo Melon, my man. Go Bucks. No, guys, I wanted to say, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate everybody. This channel doesn't exist without you guys. Everybody could say it's, but it's not just me. It takes you guys pushing the algorithm and everything, so it's very appreciated. I don't know how often I'll do roster reviews. I try to stream when I have the time between being a dad, having a full-time job, and being a husband. So, it's kind of one of those things. I'll try to be more cognizant of, hey, if I know I'm going to stream, I'll throw it out in my Discord server to make sure that everybody's kind of up to date, so you guys can join the Discord. That's linked to every single video I ever post. So, finally, after all this, going to end the stream. Thank you guys again. I love you. May the Force be with you.